Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special game of Star Trek Adventures inspired by Lower Decks. This is Star Trek Adventures Lesser Halls. Yes, I'm totally original. My name is ELH. I am the game master and VTuber for everybody here. And what I would say is that everybody here present is brand new to Star Trek Adventures. So, what that's going to mean is a couple things. The first is that I am actually going to take the time to explain some of the mechanics, some of the ways to do things in Roll20. So, what I would say is that if you are looking for a stream or a game to learn the game, kind of get a feel for what the game is like, I will do my best to facilitate that process with this. The other thing I would say is that some of you might be more interested or might be more accustomed to the Euthenia game or the Congo game where I have experienced players. It's still okay for you guys to sort of shout advice at the players, but just keep in mind that they're not going to know the ins and outs of the system because they're new. So if they get things wrong or if I say something wrong, just be civil about it and be like, hey, ELH, you said that wrong, kind of a thing. The other thing I would say before we get started proper is that we are going to take a more theater of the mind approach for this game. The reason for that is not only because we get to see everybody's lovely faces a little bit bigger, but I also find, especially for newer players in my experience, it's usually better not to throw a bunch of maps at them because they're just like, do I look at the map? Do I pay attention to the GM? So that's why we're not really doing full-on maps. The players will still see some maps in Roll20, but you guys on stream, all theater of the mind, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I think that's enough for me. Let's go around and have everyone introduce themselves, and we'll start with Drill, go to Cardi, and then we'll go to Converse. But before that, I have to thank Mr. Wolf for gifting 5 gift subs. Well, thank you so much. But yeah, Drill, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Drill, or Drillian. I will be playing Ensign Kila. And wait, do we do a personality? What are we doing here? I
Yeah,
forgot.
you just say your name, what you're playing, any socials you want to shout out, or any projects you're hyped about.
So I'm playing Ensign Kila. She's a Zahian, glass half full type personality. I'm on Twitter, Drillian, or Twitch, Drillian.
Awesome. Cardi, what do you
Hello.
got going on?
Well, I'm Picardi. I play Shraz Thriller. I used a random generator, so sorry about pronunciations, but it's going to be Aussie because I'm an Australian, mate. So I play an Andorian, ensign engineer, best compartment ever, and I'm looking forward to playing this game with my angry little Andorian.
There you go. And yeah, Converse, last but not least.
All right. Hi, I'm Converse for Acting, or C4A, because that's a bit of a mouthful. I play Ensign Gemma Solaris, and let's rock and roll.
Wonderful. Love it. All right. So, one thing I forgot to say in chat is that today the point redeems are going to be off. But moving forward, once the players have a good foundation of momentum and threat, that's when I'll let you guys in chat start to mess with them. So, consider the stream a good way to rebuild your channel points that you keep throwing at every other stream. And they're just like, why do you do this to us? All right. Well, for those who are brand new to my style of running Star Trek Adventures, something I like doing is having the players do an opening log. And I believe our Andorian friend has that today. So if you would take care and go for your log.
Ensign's log, stardate 96128.5. We are currently being transported to the U.S.S. Phoenix after meeting Lieutenant Junior Grade Knack and the other new ensigns at Deep Space October. I'm surprised that most of us ensigns are engineers. I wonder what happened to the previous crew that needed 3 new engineers for such a small ship. I can feel the excited nervousness in the air. From all but Ensign Cable, who is an android, so that can be forgiven. I haven't met many androids before. I wonder what Ensign Cable's specific syntactic algorithms are coded. Could they be parsed corrected words? Or, I'm excited about this new position, and while I miss the research equipment and tools from the lab, out here I believe I can learn a lot and use how a starship operates. However, we have still got around 3 days to travel until we arrive. I'm sure it will be an uneventful trip.
Very nice. Now, because you did the opening log, I will give you 1 momentum. So just remember that one of you needs to draw from that deck and roll 20, and you just want to draw the 1 card for the moment.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
So
I'll store momentum for now.
got it. All
I
right.
have some vague knowledge of it.
Where we're going to go now is we're going to go to a Type 7 shuttle that is just flying through the void of space. And as we zoom in into the shuttle, we kind of go into the window. And what we see is a Lieutenant Junior grade, a female Ferengi, Lieutenant Knack, sitting at the helm. To her right is a darker-skinned, white-hair android, that is Ensign Cable. And then as we kind of move into the back of the shuttle, we see our 3 player characters. So, this is now a chance for you all to introduce your characters, descriptions, anything you think the stream should know going in. So let's actually go in reverse order. Why don't we start with Converse, then go to Cardi, then go to Drill.
Like, we're talking about like specifics of our character this time?
A visual description, anything about their mannerisms you think would be appropriate, anything of that nature.
Okay, well, my character is a Zabalian, and short, dark hair, these cool markings on the side of the face. I guess grew up in a community of tradesmen, collectors, and she also likes to collect things and repurpose things. A very people person, knows a lot about a lot of things and a lot of people just based on what she finds.
Cool. So real quick before we go to Cardi, what random item would you have on your person right now?
Actually, she happened to find this other yellow shirt stuffed into the side of the chair, and she was like, okay, this might be useful for later.
And if I saw right, that was either Kirk's uniform or the Kelvin verse, I think.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? There you go. I love it. All right, Cardi, tell us a little bit about your character.
I am blue, as you can tell by my complexion. I am short and skinny. I'm wearing a different uniform because I have transferred from a different base. So at the moment I'm in what their uniform was, but I haven't transferred to the new one yet. Not until I get requisitioned it, which is coming in the mail soon. I'm just sitting back, maybe reading some blogs and some scientific research.
Interesting. And just for flavor purposes, what sort of scientific research?
It would probably be on the latest in holographic engineering, holographic research. Like there's plans possibly for more emergency holograms, stuff like that. So looking into how that research is going.
Let's make this a thing. You're reading Zimmerman Weekly. There you go.
Zimmerman Weekly. Yes.
There you go. Yeah. All right, and then certainly last but not least, Drill. What's Keela got going on?
So because Keela is a Zikian, she has lots of like line markings on her face. Hopefully I'll be doing that next stream, who knows. She's got straight brown hair, about at the shoulders. She's got the same uniform as Seabra is wearing. Mine's are coming in the mail. She is probably just like sitting in her chair, like knees together, hands between her knees, like kind of maybe bouncing her legs because she's excited. Also incredibly nervous because this is the new thing, and new things are scary because things are comfortable. Yeah.
All right. So as the three of you kind of lounge in the back, something is actually going to happen. So you guys are, in that sort of passenger area where the transporter is, when all of a sudden a chime begins to beep from the console next to Lieutenant Junior Grade Knack. And Knack sort of looks at it and goes, this is an excellent opportunity for our new engineers. And she kind of leans in, past the wall so that she can talk to you guys proper and says, if you would all be so kind, I am noticing a slight variance in the phase coil on the port nacelle.
All right, what do we do?
Well, that is where we now have the first roll of the game.
Ooh.
So, the way rolling in this game, or the rolling works in Star Trek Adventures, is you are basically rolling d20s or 20-sided die, and you're rolling it against a known target number, and you want to get below that. So 20s are bad, 1s are very good. And by default, you are rolling 2d20, but what we need to determine before we even do any of the dice rolling is we need to know who's taking the lead and who is assisting. So the way assisting works is you get a assist from one other person, and then whoever's doing the main roll is going to do, the main rolling, etc., etc. So who would like to take the lead here? Who would like to be the main roller in this instance? All right,
I can
Solaris
assist
has
on
volunteered.
sensors.
All right, so Solaris, what you're going to be rolling is a control and an engineering, and the difficulty on this is a 2. So what that means is by default, you are going to be rolling 2d20 when you click on the character sheet, and you would have a focus in this instance. And what that focus means is, let me back up a little bit. So the target number you're trying to hit is your control plus your engineering. Character sheet will handle all that for you. And if you roll below your control engineering score, you get a success. What a focus does is it makes your critical success range larger. So before you only critted on a 1. Now I believe your engineering is a 4. So you will now crit on a 1 to a 4. And a crit just basically means 2 successes. So again, it'll be more obvious once we start play. But since you do have momentum here, you know what, let's not complicate things. Let's just get you guys straight rolling, and then we'll deal with momentum later. So, Converse, you're going to be rolling 2d20, again, control engineering. And as she's doing that, between Keela and Shraz, which one of you would like to assist?
I can assist with the sensors on computers.
Excellent. All right, so the way an assist works is you are going to be rolling the same thing, control engineering, but you are only rolling 1d20.
Oh,
and then, yeah.
2d20s. Applicable focus?
You do.
Yes.
And something you want to
I don't
do
have
is
a focus.
whenever I don't say you have a focus, or whenever you're curious if you have a focus, just be like, hey, ELH, does this focus I have apply to this situation?
Bam.
All right, well, that is the 2 successes that you all need. So, yeah, what you're going to see, Solaris... Unfortunately, you only get the 1 assist here, but you can still chip in with roleplay. But yeah, so Solaris and Shraz, you guys kind of go to the panel in the back of the shuttle and you open it up, and you see the reason why there's a power draw. Somebody has left a, shall we say, long fermented cup of coffee in the panel for some reason, and it's starting to short out the wires.
Oh, this is making me feel good for what this starship's going to be like.
What did you find?
Everything has its place, and this is not it.
Oh no, what was in there?
Latte.
There was a drink in there?
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ensign, did you say that there was coffee back there? Some form of latte?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. I honestly don't know who could have done that. We're not really big coffee drinkers on the Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, you should stick to tea.
Who last took this shuttle?
Well, I do believe...
When was it last in operation?
I do believe technically this is a loaner from the Deep Space October, so...
You have a timeshare shuttle?
Well, we do have ones back on the Phoenix, but yes, this one is on loan.
Oh. I'm going to do a diagnostic check.
Just do a, general feel for, what you got going on with the shuttle. Sure. Why don't you give me a reason engineering difficulty of 1?
Reason engineering.
Again, to help you out here, going to look at your focuses, seeing if there's anything I can give you here. I would say that you would have a focus of Starfleet Protocol in this instance.
Oh, okay. Whoops. I gotta.
So
I
you
rolled
roll
anyway.
one, so go ahead and just roll another one. Just remember that whenever you're doing the roll, as you the main character, you
Oh yeah,
always roll at
two.
least 2d20.
Yep. I'll roll again. I'll roll from the start.
Okay,
2d20. I do have a focus,
you do.
and boom,
And
bam.
that's actually a very good roll. That's a teachable moment. So
Whoa!
you got 3 successes, and the difficulty on this was only a 1. So because 3 minus 1 is 2, you get 2 momentum that you can store at the current moment. And just to keep in mind, you can store up to 6 momentum total. But yeah, so you kind of, tap your pad and you kind of run a diagnostic of the shuttle. And what you find is that there's actually not one coffee cup, there's 6. And they're all just sort of secreted away under panels, underneath seats. Apparently, whoever used this last on Deep Space October didn't read the fine print about getting it back in one piece.
Their insurance premium is going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow,
new ensigns, this is why you do a diagnostic check.
I mean, I understand reheating your coffee on like a coil, but leaving it here? No.
See, now the question would be, are these all at the same state? Are they like from the same time? Or are these from like 6 different trips? Which one's the oldest and which
It
one's
looks
the
like they've
newest?
taken 2 sips, put it away, and forgotten about
Well,
And then
Keela,
make
to get
another one?
it.
to get Keela a chance to roll here, why don't you roll
Okay,
me
yeah.
a insight and a science here? Because
Okay.
as many things that engineering will cover, I don't think that coffee is technically considered engineering at the moment, anyway.
Not till we're up all hours refixing things.
All right, 1 success, which is all you needed. And yeah, Keela, they are, if you were to scan the replicator pattern, because they all kind of leave like a little bit of residue. Yeah, they were all from about the same time, plus or minus about 5 minutes. So the one you found initially was the first one. The one underneath your seat in particular is the second one. And, there's always that plus or minus 5 difference between all of them.
Who is this absent-minded? Never mind, I've done that before, so.
Could check the logs if you really, really wanted to know.
Well, there is a Ferengi rule of acquisition for this very juncture. I believe it is acquisition rule number 127. Never look a gift coffee in the mouth. Or was it a gift horse? I'm not quite sure, but you know what I'm trying to say, hopefully.
Would you like the coffee?
Oh, no, I'm a tea person.
Oh, okay. So Keela will take the one that she was under her chair and she'll like dispose of it wherever the disposed thing is.
Yeah, there's a replicator aboard, so you just kind of toss the
Yeah.
drink in there and the replicator vanishes it away. But as that all happens, there's a sudden like shift in the grav plating. So you're not like flung about or you're not like rocked or anything. It's just kind of like a sudden shift, and you kind of look towards the front, and what you see out of the main view screen is that there is a large purple swirling cloud or storm coming in your general direction. And Ensign Cable, who hasn't said anything up to this point, simply reports, I wish to inform everyone we appear to have a Class 7 ion storm off the port bow. I would recommend that we seek shelter, as this shuttle is not rated for an ion storm of that caliber.
Yeah. I
This
don't
is
want...
exactly what we need.
Yep.
Okay.
Where's the nearest shelter?
Well, it's a good thing you asked. I would like you to roll me a reason and a con difficulty of 2. Would it, Solaris or Keela, would you guys like to assist on this?
I'll assist on this one.
All right, so again, you're going to be rolling
My con's not
1d20
great.
Keela. And then, it is 2 successes here that you need. So before you roll, though, Cardi, one thing I would say is that this is another teachable moment. You have 3 momentum right now. And what that means is you can spend 1 momentum to get a third d20. Or you could spend all 3 momentum to roll 4 d20. And it's a difficulty of 2, so your reason con isn't exactly your power stats. You may wish to
No,
buy
it's not.
additional dice here.
Yeah, all right, I'll buy an additional dice. So that's my one.
All right.
I think this is how I do it. Oh, pull it out.
Yep, pull it out, slap it onto the map, and then Starfleet symbol will pop up on the map, and you just delete the symbol that comes up.
Stop pulling out. There we go.
There you go.
Remove. Excellent. All right. 3D 20.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have anything? Not really.
I was gonna say, looking at your focuses here, I don't really see a focus that would apply here, unfortunately.
Let's look at reverse engineer a planet.
Well, give it a few sessions, maybe.
One.
Okay. So that does mean that Keela does have to get at least one success here, or, well, it's another teachable moment.
Okay.
Okay, teachable moment. So, what happened here is that you needed 2 successes, but you only got the 1. So there's 2 ways we can handle this. The first is that we simply just say, well, you fail, you don't really get anything, you're kind of in hot water, etc., etc. Or, what we do is we let you succeed at a cost. And that cost is something that you say, hey, GM, I'd like to succeed at cost, or something I'll be like, hey, would you guys like to succeed at cost? And generally what that means is either I get threat, my momentum basically, or we introduce a complication to the scene. And complications are the fun part. I know they kind of sound bad, but usually complications are what makes things super fun. So which would you guys prefer? Would you prefer to just fail outright, or would you like to succeed at a cost?
I think we should succeed at a cost and have the exciting part before the credits.
Yes.
All right.
It'll be the shortest game ever. Like, we're done.
All right. So actually, if you haven't already gotten the theme of this mission, so as you sit down at the console, Shraz, and you begin to type in and you kind of comb the records of what might be a way to hide from this ion storm in the immediate area, you do see that there is a small group of asteroids about 3 AU distant that you could potentially get to in time. But the complication is going to be that you hear some rattling from the panel above you, and you look up just in time for another coffee cup to literally just splatter all over your front.
All right.
I've got an
Guys,
extra
we
I got a spare uniform if you want to use it.
You okay? Was it hot or was it cold off?
It was freezing.
Oh,
I don't know if that's worse or better.
yeah.
Asteroids. Need to get to them soon. Do it.
Okay.
All right,
No
and
change.
Nax sort of looks at what you've pulled up and goes, yes, we can get there in, well, approximately 10 minutes. Everybody hold on to something.
And Keela is gonna grab onto the wall.
And it's kind of that ironic thing because, again, grav plating is magic, where even as the shuttle banks sharply to the left and begins heading towards some dark rocks, you don't feel it. You just kind of, the stars shift outside, It's almost anticlimactic in a way, but you can still imagine that you're on like a roller coaster ride.
She feels like she's on a roller coaster.
There you go. So what happens is we see the shuttle kind of zoom in to these asteroids, and for the most part, they just they're your standard balls of rock, bits of metal, etc., etc. But behind one of them is what looks to be some form of a structure. It's combined of a bunch of metal spires and docking bays and things of that nature. But this structure is about the size of a Luna class or a Nebula class. So it's a fairly sizable structure that is built into the side of this asteroid. And as you kind of see this all out of the view screen and on your panels, I'm curious, what would be your reaction?
Keela would immediately be like, what is this? And try and do some sort of scan if she's able
Okay.
to figure out what it is.
So for you, and this is a way to introduce rolling for the ship or the shuttle. So Keela, you're going to be doing a reason engineering, difficulty of 2. And again, you do have momentum if you want additional dice. And then somebody else, so either Cardi or Converse, if one of you all could pull up the Type 7 shuttle character sheet, and the Type 7 shuttle will assist you with a sensors and engineering. And the ship's only rolling 1, and the ship always has a focus.
Nope. Engineering.
So could I use starship construction?
Actually, starship construction would apply here. Yes, that would
Okay.
give you a focus.
So I'm rolling 3d.
If you spend momentum, correct.
Okay. Can I spend a momentum, guys?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's find out
So
what this is.
3d20. Oh yeah. Yes, focus.
I'm at the
Survey
back here going,
says-
what's going on?
There you go, 2 successes. So, and this is something I'll let you make the judgment call on. Would Keela know what a Nausicaan station would look like? Would you say that that is a fair assumption, or would this be something more that's what the computer knows? You know, kind of that delineation?
We'll say the computer knows it.
So then, yeah, once you get back on the computer consoles, that apparently this is just an abandoned Nausicaan mine of some sort. Should be habitable if you can get it running.
I wonder if there's anything of value on it.
Who knows? There's nothing there. There's no life forms. Was there life forms?
No life forms.
Abandoned. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, as a commanding officer, normally I would make an executive decision, but I'm curious. Are you all ready to delve the depths of an unknown station?
Yes.
I'm curious to see how their tech works.
Well, they're a Nausicaan, so I can't imagine very well.
But it is something.
I'm back. What did I miss?
I see you
there's
changed
a-
uniforms.
I always bring a spare.
That's smart. That's actually really smart. But we found this Nausicaan abandoned mining facility place. Asteroid.
Any life signs?
No.
Let's go. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Commander, here we go.
I think Knack actually does
That's
laugh
great.
at that, and she says, yes, I love it when they have enthusiasm. And yeah, we see the shuttle again bank slightly as you enter into one of the spires coming off of the rock. And not a moment too soon, because the moment the shuttle is within the landing bay, within the docking bay, we again see that very large swirling storm of purple energy kind of wash over the rock. And what that means is that until the ion storm is done, your long-range communications are disabled. So you're on your own at the moment. But in terms of the landing bay, as the shuttle comes to a rest on the deck plating, as you look around, it's almost like a warehouse you would find on Earth right now. So just rows upon rows of equipment, doodads, widgets, etc. But the warehouse itself looks to be in disrepair. And what I mean is that some of the shelves are kind of knocked over. There's debris and equipment scattered all over the place. There's actually just enough room to fit your shuttle and for the door to open, but not much else, unfortunately. So as the shuttle comes to a rest, Knack reports, well, it seems we're going to be here for a while. Seems that we have a breathable atmosphere out there. Should be okay for you guys to journey out.
Hila will get up right away and head out.
Yeah, copy that.
And as
She'll kind of as she leaves, she'll kind of bound out the shuttle.
So as
I'm
the
scared.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm scanning along as I go, just to make sure.
Noted. So as you kind of wait at the back of the shuttle as the door opens, as the stale air kind of wafts in through that pressure differential, you smell something that is between rusted metal and something more like a sickly carnation. So a very flowery, decaying smell. It's not very pleasant. But as the door finishes descending, Knack sort of reports and says, well, perhaps I should have mentioned the smell. Yeah, that is something awful.
Okay, well, breathe through your mouths.
And Keela will over exuberantly breathe through her mouth And then like out through your doors.
Just like that.
And then I think Knack just sort of adds, well, have fun exploring the station. Please do report back every hour. If I do not hear from you in an hour's time, I will send Ensign Cable to come collect you.
All right. And Keela will start walking in.
Yep. Gemma follows.
Alrighty.
She'll have a tricorder out, just kind of generally.
Mm-hmm. So, as you guys are kind of walking down the ruined shelves and the ruined bits of equipment, I have a very important question to ask. Does anybody have jury rigging as either a talent or a focus?
Yes.
Solaris does. Excellent. So, Solaris, I would like you to roll me a reason and an engineering difficulty of 1. And usually I don't do this much rolling, but again, it's mostly to get you guys used to rolling. All right, so unfortunately with no successes, I'm going to say that as you kind of scan using your tricorder, most of this equipment is defunct. Like it's not even usable for parts. It's just not great.
Dang. Yeah, it's too old, guys.
It's not fixable.
At least
Not even like this thing, and it's just like a whole pile of junk.
I mean, with more time and some equipment I don't have right now, maybe, but not right now.
Now, Keela, very important thing. You're pointing at random pile of junk A.
Yeah.
Okay. So something I'm going to introduce as a mechanic is, as a game master, I can spend threat to introduce a complication or introduce something to the scene. And what that's going to mean is, Akila, as you motion at random junk pile A, there's sort of a clattering of metal and something is moving inside of this pile of junk.
So she's gonna like jump back to the other wall.
Mhm.
And like
And I go forward scanning.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my ground.
So it's funny you do that because as Keela jumps back and Thriller, there you go, Thriller. Maybe that's his nickname. We got it. There you go, Thriller. I love it. As a Thriller, you step forward, a Talarian hook spider pops out of the debris and goes for your face.
I hate spiders.
All right. So I'm not going to go into details about the spider because, some people are averse to it, but you do have a creature trying to eat your face. So what this is going to mean is this is our first combat. And combat is actually extremely simple in the system, and it resolves very quickly. So for a melee roll, I need you to roll me a daring and a security, please. And unless you have hand-to-hand combat as a focus, I don't think you have one.
I do not.
All right.
I don't even have security. It's a good thing. Oh, God.
Now, what I would tell you is that having more successes here will determine whether the hook spider gets a hold of you or if you get a hold of the hook spider. So you may wish to spend momentum.
Can I use the momentum to not be attacked by evil spiders?
Yes. And with that, we'll be out of momentum.
Okay.
Because I used one earlier.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, there we go. Please, no focuses, please. Yeah.
That's significant. That is 3 successes. I'm pretty sure the hook spider is going to need to double crit to beat that, which it doesn't. It doesn't even get a crit. So
Nice.
I'm going to let you determine how does Shraz defend themselves against this hook spider? Because technically, you could punch it, you could grab it. This is sort of your moment to decide how are you going to stop this hook spider, and you're going to do it successfully no matter what it is.
I am going to do what anybody who with a spider comes at you does, especially in Australia, is go, wah, and just fling it as far away as possible.
Eat it. All right, so this is, again, teachable moments. So you do damaged unarmed equal to your security plus 1. So you do 2 whopping damage. Well, you have 2 challenge dice here. So you see the challenge dice macro?
Yep.
I need you to click that and enter in 2. Okay, that is important. So, again, teachable moment. The special D6s that Star Trek Adventure uses, they have 6 sides, obviously. 1 and 2, standard what they are. 3 and 4 mean 0, nothing, nada. And then 5 and 6 mean an effect. And when you roll an effect, usually something good happens. Usually. Or basically, you don't want to see me roll effects, because if I roll effects, bad things happen. But what this does mean is that with your 2 effects, I'm going to let you make the call here. You can either knock down the spider, meaning it just splats against the wall and goes prone, or you could throw it through the force field that your shuttle came through.
Oh, how evil am I for spiders? I really don't like spiders. It's going through the force field.
Going through the force field.
Down.
So there's kind of that noise as the Tolarian hook spider goes through the force field and begins drifting off into space. And I think you see in the shuttle, Knack not really talking to you guys, but she kind of turns and goes, "What the hell?"
And as soon as the spider's gone, Keela will like immediately go back to normal. She's not cleaning the wall.
Solaris has a newfound respect.
I'm never doing that again.
Oh, love it. All right, so to kind of give you guys a little bit more to work with here. So the warehouse itself, it has 2 exits. One of the doors is half open. You could maybe squeeze through it if you tried, or maybe wedge it open further. And you see the corridor beyond is kind of blinking lights on and off. Then there's a second door, which when you first approach it doesn't respond, but the second or third time when you try it again, it kind of gives like a noise where it's not responding to you, like as a security measure almost.
Keela would investigate why it won't open. Like either like pick away at the panel, or if it's like something blocking the door from opening.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a reason and engineering, and you can have either Solaris or Ensign Thriller have an assist here.
I've got a pretty high reason.
And feel free to metagame this. It's always okay to metagame your guys' score. I do not mind.
So what was the other roll? So it was reason what? Sorry?
Reason engineering.
Oh, well, I've got 14 there. So.
Oh, well, you're higher than me in reason, then take it away.
All right.
All right.
Again, you're rolling the 1 die for an assist.
You rolled?
No,
Yeah.
I
I
thought
rolled.
you were, because you had 14.
No, Andrew. No.
I rolled.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Well, it's only a difficulty of 1, so you do get a momentum back.
Yay.
So, actually, your hunch was on the money, Keela. There seems to be an obstruction on the other side of the door.
Oh. So I can't get to it from this side.
I would say it would be difficult, but if you really wanted to, you probably could.
Yeah, she's going to try and figure this out. She wants to get through this door. This is an
Okay.
obstacle.
Yes, and I did this deliberately because, again, teachable moment. I love teachable moments. All right. So what this is going to be is this is going to be a control and an engineering. However, the difficulty is going to be a 4. So what that means is you need 4 successes, which, if you're just rolling straight, would mean that you'd have to get 2 critical successes. So you need to be spending momentum, you need to be spending determination. And as a reminder, as when you spend determination, you basically tie a value into what it is you're trying to do, and you can start off with 2 free successes if you spend it in that way. So would you like to use determination here, or would you simply like to rely on momentum threat?
No, I would like to use determination and my value puzzle agent.
Excellent. That's what I was hoping to aim for. Wonderful. All right. So what that means is that you technically already have 1 die rolled that is a 1, so you already have those 2 successes. If you want to buy more dice, though, the cost kind of comes up. So to buy a 3rd die, you would be giving me 1 momentum, 1 threat. If you wanted to roll 4 dice, you would be giving me 1 momentum, 4 threat.
Should anyone assist with this or not really?
I would say one of you can assist, yes.
And that would help. Okay.
You can
Yeah.
assist.
Someone assist me.
My,
have to
re-
get
my,
through this
my
door.
control is terrible, so
My control is also not great. I have an 8.
I got a 9. Okay, my control is better.
So if they assist, do I require to spend the momentum?
No, the assists are always free. The
Okay.
assists are, they help you and they don't really hit. Well, I say they help you if they roll a complication, maybe not. But yeah, right now, whatever they roll does not affect how you spend momentum threat to get more dice.
Okay. I'd like to spend the momentum.
Okay, so you'll spend the 1 momentum and I'll get a threat.
So
And
I roll 3 dice?
You do. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I roll 1 terrible control engineer.
Okay. All right. Teachable moment. But that is 3 successes. And let's see if Shraz gets you that additional success. No pressure, of course. Oh, my lord.
Bugger.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call a double complication.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that's a thing. All right. So here's what that means. Actually, wait a second. Keela, don't you have... Oh, no, yours, we said it was reason, wasn't it? Your augmented ability was reason.
That was
All
reason.
Right. So here's what's going to happen. I'll let you guys succeed at cost, but some interesting things are going to happen. So Keela and Shraz, you guys working together, you are able to get the manual release and get it to open up maybe about a few inches. But on the other side, you see something that no one's going to like. Absolutely no one. You remember that creature you threw out of the airlock, more or less?
Oh, no.
You know that one scene from Aliens, or maybe it's Lost in Space, or whatever the movie is, where there's just a lot of them in a corridor? You kind of creak open the door, you peek in, and you see a nest of these things.
Thanks, I hate it.
Do they notice us opening the door?
That is the complication, is that yes, is as you open the door and light spills into this dark corridor, all of them freeze and just slowly turn to look at you with their multiple eyes.
Close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door.
And that's the second complication, is that the door is now jammed half open.
Keela's gonna turn tail and like book it back to the where we came from. She'll have her phaser out, but she doesn't remember to use it.
Gemma was like exploring like elsewhere, and she sees Hilo like booking it. It's like, what are you doing? What's happening?
I'm booking it after. Okay.
What's happening? When people start running, you better run too.
Spiders.
All right. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to require something from all of you. So I would like everybody to roll me a fitness and a security, please.
Oh no.
I know, your best rolls. I know.
Just basic?
Yep, just basic.
Fitness and security? Oh, R.I.P.
Okay. Keela got 1 success, which is all she needs.
I have no focus on fitness.
I'm
We don't
an
have
Oh,
momentum to spend
very
anyway.
nice.
Holy moly.
All right.
Keela's falling behind.
All right, so what I'm going to say then is total you get 3 momentum back. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that all 3 of you can, at no problem, not even out of breath, you guys can get back to the shuttle and back inside if you want. Or if you want to say, hide behind a shelf, or if you want to hide somewhere in the warehouse/landing bay, that's also an option. But where would you guys like to go? Because wherever you want to go, you'll succeed at doing so.
I think we should try to solve the problem first, but I'm not a security guy.
I just want to get to another part of the area.
So maybe we'll say we found somewhere to hide inside the place, the mining place.
Well, as a reminder, there is, again, that half-open door that you could squeeze through.
It is
That also
dark,
an
and who's to
option.
say there's not another nest down that way, though? Because
That is
otherwise
true.
I'd be like, yes, let's go there. But
Let's go in there. Let's do it.
Okay.
Screw it.
Well,
Let's do
while
it.
we're running,
This is
Well,
Lesser
I-
Halls.
I grab something that looks crowbarish.
There you go. Give that
and
to
then
you
when
free.
I get to it, yeah, and then
All
I
right.
try to open the door.
Yeah, and since you guys succeeded so well, you guys wedge open the door further, and you all squeeze through the opening. And not a moment too soon, because as you hear the things coming towards you, you get through the last man, woman. You get through the door, and then when you remove the crowbar, the door slams shut, and you just hear things bouncing off the wall on the other side.
Stampede.
But at this point, you actually all get a chirp on your communicator, and it's, this is Lieutenant Knack to the away team. Are you all right?
We're alive.
Yep. We're fine.
Well, I don't know what you did, but there's quite a number of, Talarian hook spiders out here.
Yeah, we found a nest.
Oh. That tracks, actually. I think the Noskins keep them as pets.
Mm.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna keep moving through, but just take care. Okay.
We're safe.
Yeah.
We're safe for now.
Well, I would recommend using your phasers in the future. They might work quite well against the hook spiders.
And Kilo remembered that she pulled hers out and she didn't use it. She's like, yeah, that would yeah, we'll do that next time.
Yes, because I haven't not done my phaser training for months.
Anywho,
All right.
I'm gonna pull like a. Is the corridor still dark?
It is somewhat dark, but it's almost now, as opposed to what the nest was in, this sort of has red emergency lighting instead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'll like pull a light out of my satchel or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you still could. And
Okay.
Everybody has a flashlight. Like, it's always assumed you have common items like flashlights or things of that nature. But as you look down this corridor, what you see is that there seems to be signs of battle damage. You're seeing like these little pockmarks that would suggest energy weapons fire. You're seeing signs that maybe even a batleth or something with a jagged edge kind of dug into the side of the corridor at some point.
Kilo will raise her hand to scan the area, forget the phasers in her hand, and accidentally fire a blast.
Careful.
And then realize she's like, oh, and she'll like quickly put that away and pull it in her tray corner and scan what kind of blast marks they are.
Okay. Reason and a security, please. Difficulty of 1.
Freshly made phaser.
Hey, there's your 1 success. So what I would say then is this battle damage, recent. And I don't mean like recent as in like, oh, within the last month or oh, within the last, couple weeks. This is only like 3 days old.
And she'll kind of like give a confused look and she'll be like, this was like 2 days ago. 3 days ago.
What? I'm gonna do a check too and confirm it.
You do.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone was here. And how long ago was this abandoned? Did we know that in the initial scan?
I would say that you would know that supposedly operations on this mining facility ended 2 years ago.
So this happened now, but this was abandoned like years ago.
Okay, so we just need to proceed with caution.
There's a mystery here.
Gemma's gonna continue walking down the corridor.
And I think that's a good opportunity to ask the marching order. So, is Solaris in front? Where's everybody else?
Keela would probably follow after once she realized Solaris, because she would have been like focused on reading it, but then when she sees movement, she'll follow.
Like I've got the light. You can follow behind with the scanning.
Okay.
I'll use my focus of observation. I'm just gonna. There's a freaking bug.
All right. I'll have my phaser out then. I'm the best at phasers.
And this is actually where I'm going to spend some threat to introduce a complication. So as you're walking down the corridor, you hear the sound of screeching metal. And the difference before, when I mentioned a metal sound, this is more like somebody is taking two very sharp pieces of metal and just kind of wrenching them against each other. So it's a very unpleasant sound. And it's close. I mean, really close. Like you're coming to a T-shaped intersection. You think it's coming from the right-hand passageway.
I'm just gonna
Keela is gonna be like internally screaming at the sound. It's like fork on a plate, and she's actually gonna remember to pull out her phaser, and she's gonna slink to the wall and tricorder phaser.
Yeah, Gemma will also pull out her phaser.
As of my antenna, I am really struggling here. Just like the noise is just doubled in my ears. I'm just gonna go, okay, and I'm just gonna fall back behind you guys.
Okay.
With the phaser.
So Gemma will kind of get lower than what would be presumed eye level and kind of peer around the corner.
All right. And what you see is something that you've never seen before. I know that's probably obvious, but what you see is what looks to be a mix between a Cocker Spaniel and a cat, almost like just a cat, but like a Salat, a Vulcan sort of, big cat. And it seems to be eating something. And every time its jaw moves, that's when you hear that screeching of metal.
Oh. What'd you see? What's there?
And she relays her findings, and kind of with a mix of sympathy and caution. Poor creature, but also creature.
Keela will get lower than Solarius and kind of
method.
Reach in front. Yeah. And look.
And my head's just above it.
There you
go. And what art now?
Can I scan it from here?
You can, yeah. Go ahead and roll me a reason medicine, please. Difficulty of 0. So 3 successes give you free momentum.
Nice.
All right, you get your 1 momentum. Yeah, actually seems to be in good shape. It's just sort of chewing because it wants something to chew, not that it's trying to actually eat or consume anything.
So do we know what it's chewing on?
It's chewing on a piece of rebar, basically.
Lots of iron in your diet, I guess.
Do you think it's friendly?
I mean, approach with caution.
Can we keep it?
I mean, if command lets us, maybe.
I don't know how to deal with animals.
Keela is oddly intrigued by this thing. Would she have any snacks on her?
Yeah, do we have any rations?
Yeah, you'd have standard issue rations. You might even have a coffee cup from earlier.
So Keela is gonna put her phaser away because she's not realizing which one she's putting away. And she's gonna take out the rations, and she's gonna kind of step out, kind of not half crouched, but not standing tall, easily coming close, until maybe it notices her.
Okay.
How close can I get?
I would say you could get within throwing distance, so maybe about, trying to do distances in my head, maybe about 4 or 5 meters, so generally a little bit closer. But as you kind of make yourself known, the creature stops chewing. It turns to look at you, and now that you can see its face, you see that it actually does not have eyes, or at least not eyes that you would understand. So kind of almost like a canine and cat face mixed together. It's just that, again, there's no sockets for the eyes. It's just nothing. But it kind of turns and looks at you, or at least its head looks in your direction, and it just sort of stares and doesn't move or do anything. It just sort of stares at you.
So Keela's gonna open very slowly the packaging and hold it in her hand. She's gonna kneel right down, one knee down, one up, and she's just gonna hold it out.
I need you to roll me.
Gemma's gonna have her phaser trained from behind just in case, over Keela's head, but waiting.
Okay. All right, Keela, very important roll. I need you to roll me a presence and a command at a difficulty of 3, so you may wish to spend momentum here.
Got plenty of momentum. You can use
Yeah,
2.
I will definitely spend
Don't
momentum.
get your hand bit off.
Do you want to get 2? Or
Can we use
do
2?
Yeah, you would
We need
spend
how
3
much?
momentum to roll 2 dice, or 4 dice total. Yep.
Okay, we'll do that. So I'll roll
Hands
4
down.
dice.
So we're down to 1 then? So
Yeah,
got
you're down to
we're
1.
using
You got
3?
it.
Okay.
Cool. Getting used to it. Excellent.
All right. There's the 3 you needed.
Boom.
So, one thing I would say that I've deliberately not done up to this point is that whenever you guys use momentum or threat, you guys get to then roll a challenge dice to see if you get extra momentum.
Okay.
So, Keela, since you did the roll me 1 challenge dice, please. And this applies to all of you. This is your untapped potential talent. This is
Okay.
something all of you do when you roll momentum or threat.
So we do it every time we use momentum.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, and what that means is you actually get a point of momentum back.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the creature, very, I would say timidly, I think, or very cautiously, just kind of puts one foot in front of the other, just slowly kind of creeps up to you, and it sort of gets within range, and it kind of sniffs a few times, and then it just very carefully takes a small bite out of what's offered. And as that happens, the creature's attitude changes. You know, its tail starts wagging a little bit, and you know, its ears perk up, and it then goes back for like a second and a third each time with more gusto. And yeah, you seem to have at least made a friend, is what I would say.
So Keela will put, as she's like got the food here, she'll put the tricorder down and she'll like give it these pets.
I'd like to come in for petting too.
You may certainly come in for the pets.
Yes. Put the phaser up back and
Solaris,
Here-
Thriller,
here's
look.
squishies.
I'll come in for a cautious pet.
Yes.
There you
Yeah,
go.
sure, it's okay.
And yeah, the creature, such as it is, you know, it's now that you've warmed up to it, or it's warmed up to you, it's very happy, and you know, tail going which way. But as you all are getting the pets in, I'm going to spend a bit of threat to introduce another complication. Is that from the corridor behind you, you hear a gravelly voice echoing down the corridor, and the voice says something along the lines of, "Where the hell have you gone? I will hunt you to the ends of this station, you rueful beast." And that's where we're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break. So
Thank you,
we'll be
5.
back shortly, everybody. Stick around. All right, welcome back from break a little bit early, everyone. If you're just tuning in, the players are basically taking shelter in a formerly abandoned Noskin mining facility as they wait for an ion storm to pass so that they may continue on to their destination, their new ship, the U.S.S. Phoenix. However, kitty. As they've gone through the station, they found a nest of Tellurian hook spiders, and now a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Salat, or a Vulcan cat, as it were. But it's not all fun and games. There's also the sound of what sounds to be a hunter, or somebody that has a voice that's very unpleasant echoing through the hallways. And that's where we'll resume, is that again, you kind of hear that gravelly, deep voice that kind of says, "Where are you? You can't hide forever."
I press my communicator and go, Ensign Thriller to Gnack. Thriller to Gnack.
Yes, go
there's somebody
ahead.
on board. Somebody's on board.
We scan for life forms.
Well, that can't be right. I'm not detecting any life form. Oh.
Well, I can
Oh,
hear
I'm
a
not
life
even
form.
detecting your life forms. Oh, that could be a problem.
I'm dead? Not again. No, yes. Yeah, so we found an animal, a creature, a cat-like, cute, dog-like, bird-like thing, and I don't know, what was a bird? I can't remember. But then we just heard somebody speak out. I think they're hunting it.
Well,
No.
what I would tell you is that there are a number of hook spiders still outside. Cable is shooting them as fast as possible, but it may be some time before it is safe to come back in this direction.
Oh, I forgot about the hook spiders.
All right. We'll keep
All right.
moving.
All right.
Keela will put her tricorder away, actually pull out her phaser, and she's kind of like kneeling next to the animal with like her arm around and be like, no.
We'll take it with us.
How many entrances are to this room?
Yeah, so I'll re-describe the scene. So you guys had come to a T-shaped intersection, and you had turned right to find this animal. And the corridor does continue further into the station, but it sort of goes into, the dim darkness where you can't quite see where the corridor ends. Then behind you, or what would have been the left side if you took a left turn at that T-shaped intersection, you again just see corridors that sort of stretch out into the darkness, but that one curves more to the left, if that matters to you.
And that's where the voice is coming from?
Correct.
Okay. So,
Other direction.
all in favor of bringing the creature with us?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think that one's vote worthy, but okay.
To the right?
Right.
Let's go.
Right on.
All right. So as you guys proceed down the hallways, again, it's sort of the red lighting and the Nausicaan architecture makes it look a little bit jagged, but casting shadows everywhere that you maybe jump at maybe once or twice. But eventually, you arrive at what appears to be a control center. It's a oval-shaped room with 4 entrances to it. You guys are coming in kind of at the west entrance, if you will. And what you see in the middle of this room is a depression in the floor. And you see a bunch of consoles that you could sit at. You see that there is coming from the ceiling into this depression. There's like holographic projectors and things of that nature. You're also seeing that there is webbed bodies that are resting in some of the console seats. But they're not moving. There's no hook spiders in this room, at least as far as you can tell. There are some consoles that are not in this depression, sort of along the edges of the room. But in general, this does look to be what would have fared for a control room at some point. There are literal cobwebs almost strewn over everything.
Control room. Maybe we can get some maps and stuff from here if we can activate something, get something working.
Like to check the bodies, make sure
Yeah.
they're actually dead.
Okay. Well, what I would tell you is that quick scan with your tricorder. Yeah, they're dead. They're dead. But let's talk about that getting a map, because I like that idea. So when you try to interface with one of the terminals, you notice that it's lacking a power source.
No. We're lacking a power source.
What kind of power source?
The standard.
Okay.
Something
Can-
like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like something like we could probably just put in a standard battery or something like. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah. Do we have anything like that?
I think
Maybe
we
I
all
can-
look at Solaris now, because Solaris
Yeah.
has the personal effects talent.
I do. Let me check my bag.
Yeah, and what I would tell you is
Like-
that because you have the personal effects, you probably could pull out as big a power cell as you wanted.
Will this do?
Yes, it will definitely do.
All right. Give me just a few minutes. And she gets to work hooking it up.
So it actually doesn't take that long. You just kind of put wire A to terminal B, and moments later, the terminal sort of springs to life. And I'm imagining the terminal is kind of like the ones we see on DS9, where it's still in that alien script and sort of circular design, but the universal translator, or you have training just to know what buttons to push here. But what you see on the screen is the words "last operation 9999," and the nines just stretch off.
I'm gonna check that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to it? Like,
It basically is like a open terminal window, so like a command prompt is basically what it's doing above or below the listing of when it was last active.
Okay. So can I try to get the map?
You
from it?
can.
Yes.
And
Run
I'm going
stuff.
to give you, let's have you do a control and engineering difficulty of 3.
I have a focus on computers.
That would give you a
Hey.
focus.
Yay! Spread that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
My control's not the best, so I need 3, so I'll need another. Oh, can I use a moment? Get a.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to spend. Yeah. Remove. So I'm going to use 3. All right. I'm gonna say I gotta focus. Is anyone able to assist, or is this all I'm gonna? Is it just me?
I think Solaris would assist you on this one since it was her power cell.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So again, that's control engineering for you and 1 die for Solaris.
Yep. Control engineering.
All right, there's
Hey.
2.
Yay!
Yeah.
Successes, very nice. So yeah, you guys working together, you get the terminal to spit out a map of the facility. And it's a good thing too that you got this map because it is just a labyrinth of haphazard corridors that don't really seem to lead to anything, or the purpose of the corridor is left unknown because what you're seeing is that the station was not built into the asteroid. It was before when the Nausicaans came. So to put that another way, the Nausicaans basically built into the natural form tunnels of the asteroid rather than drill them themselves, if that makes any sense.
Okay, yeah. Can Keela read the map and find a way out?
Well, what
Another
would you qualify as a way out? Are you looking for a way back to the shuttle bay you came in? Are
If
you
yeah, if
looking-
there's another way there that wouldn't be through the same with the spiders. So like, is there like another
Okay.
solution?
Let me see here.
While she's doing that, is it possible? Is there any like security feed or anything we can pull up
It's a
for
good
having a better
question.
visual?
And what I would tell you is this is, again, a teachable moment, even if the stream can't see it right now, but we're still recording, so we should be good. But one thing you can do, and this is a very powerful thing you guys can do as players, is that you can actually spend 2 momentum to create an advantage or basically do a narrative declaration. And there's also a spend where you can spend 1 momentum to ask a question, and I have to answer that question truthfully. So what I would say then is that you have the option of either making it a question, meaning 1 momentum, or you can say that there is definitively a way to get a security feed. You sort of see the difference there, maybe?
Okay. But we only have 1 momentum.
Yes, you would. If you wanted to make it so that it was a sure thing, you would have to give me 1 momentum and 1 threat.
I don't see anything wrong with that. He hasn't done anything too bad to us yet.
We're lesser halls. Let's just
Rock
do
and roll.
it.
More excitement, more pets.
Okay.
We're
yes.
lesser halls is chaos. Let's go.
Yes, I pull up a security feed for better visual.
So we spend 1 moment.
Yep.
All right, so what you see is as you kind of go through all the cameras and you kind of look up and down and, oh, we're back on stream. Hi, stream. You didn't miss much. We were just teaching them about narrative declarations and create advantages and things of that nature. But as you're kind of looking through the security feeds, what you're seeing is that there is a figure, maybe about 7'6", so fairly tall individual. And they are wrapped in furs, like animal furs. If I had to qualify an actual design, almost like a white tiger. So there's kind of like that white fur with the black stripes on it. And their headdress looks to be a literal like skull of an animal that you can't quite place. But as you're looking at him, what you notice is that he is, if I had to qualify, he's holding a weapon that I think Solaris especially would identify as belonging to a Hirogen. And if you need me to remind you what a Hirogen is, I'd happily do
Yeah,
so.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, for those who may not know what a Hirogen is, they are basically the hunter species or the hunter race from Voyager. So they're very much a, thrill of the hunt, thrill of the sport kind of hunters. They kind of have like bulbous heads where they kind of have like two lobes that are
Oh,
almost like bumps on their head, kind of a thing. Yeah, they're kind of they're a little
They
bit
also
smooth otherwise, aside from the bumps. But yeah,
okay.
if this is a Hirogen, you have big problems on your hand.
they're a bit far from the Delta Quadrant, aren't they?
They are
Mhm.
indeed.
Um, using the security feed, we can locate other spider nests as well?
You can indeed. I was waiting to see if you remembered. So yes, you are using the map that you have found in conjunction with the security feed. You now appear to have a map in which that you could reroute yourself back around to the shuttle bay.
Okay.
Very nice.
Solaris will give her findings of the hunter, and it's like we need to go.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll
let's
report
go.
back. I'm just going to be the person who reports back to.
Yeah, we forgot.
Oops. There's got to be one.
Lieutenant Unigrade, Knack, we have found out that Hirogen is on board.
I'm sorry, did you say Hirogen?
Yes.
Oh,
They're a bit far out for what. I don't know why they're out here, but I don't want to be here anymore. So we're coming back.
very well.
We found
Cable,
the map.
Cable
and-
has disposed of the hook spider, so if you can come back,
Can I send the map to them?
you can, yeah.
How's
Something
the
Yeah, something
ion
like-
storm looking?
Well, about that, the ion storm is quite literally at its peak right now. We could not leave, and, well, I don't know if you know this expression, but it's like putting a tomato in a blender.
We've been there.
I don't know that expression.
It's a mood.
It's a lot. It's pure chaos.
Perhaps
it's
you're
a big
familiar
mess.
with-
It's red and it's water and it's
Perhaps-
just it doesn't taste very good. It's really like watered out. And until someone speaks up, she's gonna keep talking.
Stress. Perhaps you're more familiar with like a plastic bag drifting through the wind.
Oh yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sending the map and the path we're planning to take. So
All right.
yes.
So, one question I have before we move forward, have you named your pet yet?
I'm coming up with names as we go along. I'm saying
Oh,
stuff like
I tossed out a few
Bernard,
names earlier.
Haas, Jadzia, Zimmerman, Sung, Tesla, Data, Tucker.
See, I like
Tesla
Tesla
or
because of the
Monty.
whole coffee and the those are coils. Tesla or Monty, I like because the coffee and the
And
coils
then
or whatever,
Monty from Montgomery.
and then Monty.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go with Monty because of Scotty.
All right. Well,
Do we know its
Oh
gender?
yeah. Can we tell that?
let's just say that it's such a hybrid of a creature that even your medical scans, like your tricorder's like, eh.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Exactly.
Keela will flip between Tesla and Monty. She has it to say.
Same.
Tesla Montgomery.
Oh,
Tesla Montgomery, yeah.
Yes.
There you
That's
go.
it.
Done. Sold.
That's it. Confirmed.
all right. Well, as you all and Tesla M begin to pick your way back towards the shuttle, I have basically a how question for you. So you have the map. You are able to avoid the spider nests, but are you going for like a roundabout way that you maybe can avoid the Hirogen, or are you going more a direct way in the hopes that you can get to the shuttle before the Hirogen finds you?
We have a map. We're not going
see.
anywhere until that storm passes. I don't mind taking the safer route.
I was thinking the roundabout as
Okay.
well.
Stress?
What do you think?
I think so, and maybe we can cause some distractions for that Hirogen with those nests.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like-
Ooh.
Throw something at it and run.
Pretty much, yeah. Do something, yeah.
All right.
I'm sure we can make some sounds and stuff with some of the equipment around, or get some.
I'm
stuff.
sure I have something.
Well, we could shoot our phasers at something too and set something off.
True.
Interesting. All right, so here's how we're going to handle this, and it's a teachable moment. And this is one of the most complicated things in the system, so do let me know if you guys get lost, and I'll be happy to explain it again. But what we're going to do now is considered an extended task, and it works the same as a normal task. It's just that you have sort of a work track, or you need a number of successes to complete the track, but it's not like 3 or 4 difficulty. It's like you need like 12 successes kind of a thing.
Okay.
So I'll take it step by step here. So what this is going to be is you need to get 12 work done. So if you get 12 work done, you get what is called a breakthrough, and you reduce the magnitude of the extended task. Now, what a magnitude means is that's how many breakthroughs you need. And there's a few ways to get breakthroughs, but I'll sort of explain that when we get to them. So you need 4 breakthroughs on this, and the default difficulty will start at a 3. And I've typed that in chat for you all. So what I would say is that this could be one of many different tasks. And again, you can assist each other on this. So if you're, for example, trying to provoke the Tolarian hook spiders, I would say that that could be a daring and a security. If you're trying to set up sort of screamer traps or, bits of metal to fall on whoever walks by, I think that would be a daring engineering. But something I would encourage is that since this is representing you getting back to the shuttle and distracting the hunter, you can sort of offer me your own combination, and if I think it works, we can use that as well.
Okay.
And the good news is that it doesn't have to be the same person doing each role. You can switch who is doing the main role depending on, what you guys want to do, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I get some recordings of Tesla Montgomery?
Okay.
Just of his voice.
Like growling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this. All right, so yeah, why don't you give me let's call it a daring engineering on your part.
Excellent.
And
That's what I
then-
excel at.
Who would be assisting you?
I want to assist because she kind of has initiated the whole animal thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and you're going to do your own daring engineering, and again, overall difficulty on this is a 3.
We don't have any momentum, so.
No.
Oh, wait, you did succeed. Go ahead and roll your untapped potential. You could get
oh,
one.
that's right. I just forget about that.
Oh yeah, that's a me. So 1 dice.
All right, so you actually get 2 momentum back. Very nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna spend 1.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't want 21. I want 1. There we go. So do 3. Nothing there. No.
Actually, wait a second. Don't you have holographic technology as a...
Oh yeah.
but you don't have a 5, so it wouldn't have been a crit. All right, so that's 2 successes so far. And there's the 3 you need from Keela. All right, so if you'll permit me a little bit of creative agency, I think what you do is you get the sound of Tesla Montgomery, and then you kind of look at your tricorder and go, I could make you into a portable holographic projector.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so here's now the complicated step, is you're now going to roll against the work track, and it's actually a little bit simple, even though it sounds complicated. You're going to be rolling 2 plus your department, or 2 plus your discipline. So since your discipline is engineering, you're going to roll me 6 challenge dice.
6.
Okay.
Woo!
Nice.
Now, this is important for a few reasons. The first is that sometimes you might have a talent that would give you additional work when you roll effects, but I don't think any of you have that, but you did get 5 work done. Now, 5 is the magic number in the system. If you get 5 work, you get what is called a breakthrough, reduces the difficulty, reduces the magnitude, etc., etc. But 5 is also very important in terms of combat. If you do 5 or more damage in a single strike against an opponent, they take an injury and are essentially out of play for that combat. So it's a very important
Nice.
thing to keep the rule of 5 in mind.
Ooh.
But to update you, as you cobble together this crude holographic projector, You now have only 3 magnitude remaining, and the difficulty to complete this task has come down to a 2.
Nice job.
Mhm.
Nice.
Hello, TM.
Let's see.
And then, yeah, at this point, we
I
go
would-
through the same motion. So go ahead and pitch me ideas.
I would like to maybe if we get to a spot that we have to like sneak by a nest, if Keela could like set up some debris that and kind of like a tripwire so that when it would be tripped, it would cause a bunch of noise and therefore alerting the nest.
Yeah, I like it. Why don't we call that a fitness engineering?
Nice.
And who would like to assist Keela on that?
Fitness is my lowest.
Sounds like you just volunteered.
All right.
Let's do it.
RIP.
All right, the difficulty is
Do I
a
have
2.
anything?
Oh, also, real quick, Shiraz, go ahead and roll the untapped potential.
Oh, yeah.
Can't forget about that.
Oh yeah.
Tap potential.
Yeah.
So how does determination work again? Do we just
No.
do we have like a set amount of determination that we then spend? Or
Yeah, so you start each session with 1 determination, and
Okay.
if you want more determination, you have to either challenge a value or act in a way that would introduce a negative complication to the scene.
Okay. So I'm just-
Okay, well, there's
Nice.
your 2 base successes. Now, as long as Solaris doesn't roll a... Okay, no help,
Told
but it's
you.
not a complication. That's what matters. All right, so with 2
Doing great,
successes...
sweetie.
With 2 successes, Keela and Solaris, you guys working together, you sort of set up that tripwire / fall trap with the bits of debris that are coming off of the walls. And same thing as before, 6 challenge dice to represent how much work you get done.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So that is 6 successes. That is significant. And what I would tell you is that if you give me your 1 momentum, you could complete this extended task in this second go if you wanted to.
Wow. Sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, again, it's
Right,
one of the
momentum.
beauties where I know it seems complicated at first, but once you kind of get the jargon down and you understand what you're rolling, I think it gets a little bit easier. But yeah, so yeah, Keela and Solaris, you set up a masterful tripwire system.
Heck yeah.
And you guys maybe get about 3 or 4 corridors down when you hear the tripwire go off, and then you hear weapons fire as what you can assume the hunter being just waylaid by so many Solarian hook spiders.
Yes. Nice.
But yeah, with that, what I would
Not
tell
us.
you... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying him, not us.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, well, in that case, you guys do actually arrive back at the shuttle bay. The nest you disturbed earlier, you are able to circumvent it and go through kind of a secondary passageway to get back into the shuttle bay. And what you see is Ensign Cable, sort of with a phaser Type 3, the phaser rifle, just sort of standing amid a field of corpses, is what I would say.
I was going to say just before we get in,
Mhm.
who needs security when we got engineering?
Yeah.
And then we open up and we see that and they say,
Oh.
they've still got their uses. Yep.
That's why we.
Yeah, that's yeah, 'cause security.
Oh. And I think Ensign Cable just sort of looks at you and goes, "Ah, I see you've returned. I understand that there is a hunter behind you."
I think he
Yes.
might be occupied with a nest of legs.
We also found a friend.
Yes, I understand that you are calling him Tesla Montgomery.
Yes.
Hmm.
Can we keep him?
No, we
No.
are keeping him.
The creature.
She's
does
just
not
gonna like
appear to be-
usher him onto the ship.
Yeah, I was saying, as Cable just walks, as you walk past Cable, she kind of goes, "Well, I do not say, okay, you are stowing them anyway." Okay. All right. And as you all sort of get back onto the shuttle, and Lieutenant Knack sort of looks at the consoles and says, "Ah, well, If we can hold out for about another 5 minutes, I believe we could get out into space and away from that Hirogen.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So here's where I am going to roll some dice. And you do not want an effect to be rolled here, because if I roll an effect, the Hirogen will arrive.
Of course.
Okay, so 1 minute passes. You're all kind of waiting tentatively. No Hirogen. 2nd minute passes. You start to think, oh yeah, we're going to get out of here scot-free. 3rd minute passes. You're starting to see weapons fire and flashes of light coming from the corridor you just came down. 4th minute passes. The Hirogen hunter, again wearing that skull, wearing the animal furs, comes running into the shuttle bay, sees you all, and we're going to enter into actual combat here.
Okay.
So the way combat in this system works is that it's not like D&D or it's not like any other system that has initiative. It's actually very simple. We do player, so a player or ally, then it goes to the enemy, then it goes to the player or the ally, and it bounces back and forth until everybody has acted. For this instance, I'm just going to put you 3 and Ensign Cable on the initiative order, and the Hirogen is on this order, they're just not listed. But since it is the player's turn first, which among you would you like to act first?
I'll go.
Okay. So if, again, out of the view screen of the shuttle, you see that the Hirogen is raising up his rifle to fire at the shuttle. So what would you like to do to stop or otherwise defend against this? And don't worry so much about what mechanics say, just kind of give me an idea and we'll make it work.
I don't know. Does the shuttle, I would assume it has like lights, like headlights, right?
It does.
Like so you can see. Can we like try to blind him?
Yeah.
Flip those on and try to blind him.
I love it. Why don't you roll me a control engineering, and the shuttle will assist you with a comms and security. And the difficulty on this will just be a 2. All right, there's 1 success, which means we need to see a comms and security success from the shuttle.
Oh, I can roll for the shuttle. Where is it? Type 7 shuttle. What was it again?
Comms and security.
Comms, security.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a complication. Ooh.
Oof.
Oh!
Ooh. Well, it's
The
the shuttle that
freaking
complicates,
coffee.
not you. So I think that it is, calling back to the joke. I think what it is you go to turn on the lights and they
Dadgummit.
flicker and then just go defunct as you find yet another coffee cup.
This is why we don't leave things not in their place.
Why we do a higher check next time?
All right. Well, that's going to be your turn, which means it's now going to be the Hirogen's turn. So the Hirogen is going to open fire, and even though he's at point blank range, he still has to roll because he too could get a complication. All right, actually, he does not get enough successes to actually hit the shuttle. So I think what happens is he fires off a pulse from his rifle, and kind of a green light mixed with orange sort of flies out towards the shuttle. But it just impacts against the shields of the shuttle, dealing no damage whatsoever.
Cool.
Which now means it is Shiraz, Keela, or Cable's turn.
I could do another distraction, trying to get Hollow TM out there to try to, because he's trying to hunt TM. So why not have Hollow TM out there trying to take some of the fire?
Yeah, I like it. Why don't we have you do a presence and engineering? And I'll set the difficulty here at a 5. So you're probably going to want to use your determination, and you're probably going to want to give me some threat.
Okay, what can I use for determination? Value.
No,
Leave no man behind.
Yeah, well, maybe. What other values you got here?
Anything can be used anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Any of us assist?
I would say yeah. If you tell me how you're assisting.
That's a good question.
Are
I
you
don't know.
wanting to set up that hologram display, or are you wanting to like lob it out
up.
there to
Um,
like? Are you trying to put it together? What are you wanting to do?
I've already set it up, so we're using it for
okay.
distraction methods. So I'm not trying to use it so out there, it's still distracting.
Yeah, I don't know how to help with that.
Well, maybe one of those things where you sort of time it with the shuttle transmission, such that the Hirogen doesn't pick up on it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally, the reason I'm doing this and not just saying you can assist is because I'm sort of introducing you guys to thinking like, okay, he's doing this or she's doing this. How do I assist?
Right.
So this is sort of throwing you into the fire, but it hopefully is again a teachable moment.
Okay.
And I can use holo programming.
You can.
Right.
And again, it's a difficulty of 5. So you've already spent your determination. So that's 2 free successes. So you would need 3 more successes.
Yeah. So do I still just roll a 1d20?
Or no. So your default is 2d20.
Okay.
But if you want more dice, you would have to give me threat.
I think with the support in my thing, I might risk it because I don't want to give you more threat.
I got the good call.
So with the support, and hopefully the fact that I'm using holo programming as a applicable focus, I'll be able to get some good crits and stuff.
All right, let's see what happens.
Ooh,
All right, well, that's 4 successes. So, Solaris, if you can get 1 success, this happens.
Okay. What am I rolling to help?
You're rolling a control engineering on your part.
Okay.
This would be a very bad time to roll a complication.
I know.
No pressure.
Ah!
What did I just...
No, I had one job. One job.
Okay, I think I know how to resolve this. So, I think what happens
Everything's
is well, actually, wait a second. You haven't spent your determination yet, have you?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, technically, you could use your determination to reroll your dice, but you again would have to apply it to a value.
Okay. Let me see what my value is. Does that, so just trying to remember, does that mean I'm getting rid of this value to get this extra dice, or am I applying
You're just applying
the
value.
Okay, well, I can use helping hand.
That would work. And yeah,
Okay.
all you have to do is not roll another 20. That's all you have to do.
Please.
No
Okay.
pressure.
No pressure.
Okay, so what am I rolling then?
Same thing as before.
Oh, okay.
Critical successes only.
Don't screw it up. God.
There you go. You go from literally a critical failure to a critical success. Very nice. So you actually do get a momentum back from that.
Nice.
Hey.
Yay!
So, Shiraz, you and Solaris working together, you will have the holographic TM work. But what is it that the holographic TM does that distracts the hunter? And it's going to succeed no
Dance.
matter what you tell me it does.
Good dance.
On a time date. Doing the thriller.
To the throat. There you go. That's okay. I think we have it. So you send out the hologram, and music begins playing, and Nax sort of goes, "Is that an old Earth tune?" And as Thriller plays, we see the Hirogen, kind of look at this hologram as it's kind of doing the Thriller, the hands back and forth, and it lowers its rifle and it goes, "What the fuck?" And it is at this point that Nat goes, "Aha, we are now out of here." And you feel the shuttle pick up and leave the shuttle bay behind. And the Hirogen is so distracted by the dancing Thriller TM that he only haphazardly just shoots in your general direction, but doesn't land at all. There you go.
Is this just thriller?
And the spiders in the background are also like,
Yeah, they're doing dance.
I now feel bad leaving Holo TM there.
it's
Just
alright,
like I
we have
would,
the real
like-
one here.
Yeah, but I just feel as bad as if we left the real one there.
It'll be fine.
All right. Well, as you zoom back out into space, you see the rolling clouds, the ion storm in the distance. And Knack just sort of goes, well done. Hopefully you had fun on your little away mission. There's a lot more like that, because on the Phoenix, we repair a lot of broken ships that are going to be just like that station.
Ooh, stuff to fix.
That explains
Stuff
why
to-
there's 3 new engineers.
Well, yes, we could always use helping hands.
What happened to the previous engineers?
Believe it or not, they got promoted. And I don't mean it in the good way. I mean, we promoted to get rid of them.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, they to put it plainly, they were not good engineers.
So you promoted?
Well, you know the expression that you get promoted to your level of incompetence?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
what does it
stay
say?
ensign forever. Yeah, okay.
sure, Jan.
Yeah.
Well, if they're leaving coffee cups behind, I don't blame them. Like,
I'm kind of amazed how many coffee cups got stowed back there. And I think our final scene is we see TM literally finding another coffee cup and just chewing it, just crunching down.
just if
on
I
the
had a
coffee
whole
cup.
full set for tea for later, just
But yeah, that's going to be the end of our first session. What did you guys think?
nice.
Loved it. It was great.
Love it. And
Maybe
again,
the
you know,
beginning to now, I'm definitely more comfortable
Yeah,
knowing how to do things.
I had to get in the rhythm.
mhm. And that's usually the beauty is, the first couple sessions, it's usually me talking because I'm explaining things. But as you guys get more comfortable, you'll feel like more empowered to speak up or say, hey, GM, shut up for a moment, and I encourage that. So. All right. Well, Twitch and YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. We had a very active chat. Thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you for turning out and giving your support to these lovely individuals. YouTube, this is where we say goodbye, but Twitch, stick around because we're going to find somebody to raid. But YouTube, see you later.